further questions.
Before we move on, I'd like to congratulate Texas and Coach Sarkisian and his team. Certainly, we're well prepared and played better today. Really happy for Sark and certainly excited to watch him continue to build. But hats off to Coach Sark and Texas and the job they did today. What questions we got?
Coach, just talk about not being able to get off the field on third down. It seemed to be a problem all day.
Yeah, I mean, I think when we really look at the goals and objectives that we have, the things that are relative to playing winning football, third down and really conversion downs in general today, they were better than we were. I think we were 7-16, they were 11-16. We had them, in long yardage situations. They did a really good job. Quarterback, made some plays with his feet, and just the ability to keep the play alive. There were numerous occasions where his ability to escape and extend the play and some terrific catches, so I think you're spot on. I think getting off on the field, Coach Tony would agree, that's an area that cost us today.
What can you guys do to maybe clean things up, especially over the middle and also covering the running backs coming out of the backfield on some of those pass catching routes?
Well, I mean, I think that we're in good calls. I think that comes down to communication, execution, and then I think fundamentally, at times we could have tackled better, played better in space. I thought, we had them bottled up quite a bit, throughout the day, and just that little extra there by their skill players. We were in position a number of times and just couldn't get the guy on the ground. So, hats off to Texas. They had a good plan and put their players in position to have success. I also think we had a good plan. I think, we've got to make those plays when given the opportunity. I think when we watch the film, we're going to see that. But I agree with you. A lot of the third downs were over the middle, certainly the back. But those are, when you play a good team, the margin of error is small. And certainly today was that two good football teams going at it. And, hats off to Texas.
Coach, will there be anything that you'll do different in practice this week, emphasizing third down on both sides of the ball?
No, we've got a proven process to get our team ready. We'll evaluate the film. We'll evaluate conceptually, fundamentally. We'll put together a plan for the next game and the next opponent. No need to, hit the panic button here. Get some good players out there with well-designed concepts, and they made plays when given opportunities. And our players at times can do things better, and certainly we can coach better at the same time.
Hey, Coach, what went into the decision for the onside kick when you guys had 12, the first one?
Yeah, no, well, I felt like the play count had got a little bit out of hand. Our defense, I think the time of possession was like close to, 18 or 19 minutes to 12 or 11 in the first half. The play count was really out of whack going into that 2-minute possession. I think we had run 18 plays and they had 39 or something like that. So, and then the first possession of the half, we really didn't slow them down much. So if we're going to get back in the game, we needed to do something there to change the momentum and really, create a break for our defense and, try to give us a spark. So, and that's another example of, something that we practiced and executed, and we did not execute that very well today.
Coach, it seemed like Levi had to hold on to the ball. Is it a situation in the passing game could never really get in a rhythm the first 3 quarters? Is that just Texas defense, or how would you describe the passing game issues?
Well, we made some plays there right before the half, throwing the ball. Prior to that, we only had 18 snaps, and we did some good things, but I also think that, there were some opportunities that we missed, just to be blunt. So, I'll know more after I watch the tape. I'll be able to give you a little bit more in depth. Just watching it from the sideline, there's no question that we did a lot of good things, but we also have a lot of work to do to improve in certain areas. Some of that is us, and some of that is Texas, like most weeks. Sometimes your opponent creates issues for you, but at the same time, a lot of times it just comes down to being sound and executing. But I think the play count in the first half certainly affected us, in the game, and we had our chances. We definitely had our chances.
Coach, what
Kenny,
impressed you
obviously,
most
the two,
about the young
Kenny,
guys, the
obviously-
freshmen, like Montrell and Kyron Lacey getting a touchdown? Just talk about their play and what you liked out of what you saw from them.
Well, you look at our two deep, I think we've got 5 seniors on there. So and there was a number of players that played today that really were in their first or second year of significant playing time. So, today was a good experience for our team, and certainly a good experience for a lot of these young players who maybe haven't had big roles in the past, and they got an opportunity to play when it counts today. We'll get better. This is not necessarily the outcome that we desired, but I think it's going to give us an opportunity to look in the mirror, improve, call it like we see it, tell the truth, have integrity, own the mistakes that we made, both as players and coaches, and, move forward here and try to improve. I think that's the big objective here is we've got to take the right approach, have the right mindset when we show up tomorrow, and really, work hard to improve. And there's no question Texas played better than the Raging Cajuns today.
Coach, Kenny obviously hit the 2 field goals, but how much did you think the mixed extra point kind of cost you guys with momentum? And what else do you think you really need to clean up special teams wise?
For the most part, we neutralized the returners. They had a couple blocks in the back on the early punt return. But in general, I thought Reese was effective. We'll look back at the extra point. I think it was part, sometimes we always want to talk about the kicker, but sometimes the snap in the hole have something to do with that. I'll be able to give you a little bit more specific answer, but we've got to do the simple things well, and certainly making a PAT is on that list. But Kenny came through today and made a couple clutch kicks. There's no question that Kenny's really grown up as a player. He's a guy that really stepped up for us last year, and early there, that's a big deal in my opinion. On the road against a tough team in a great venue, in a difficult environment, to really come through early there and make that field goal, and then to make another one right before the half. When we're still in the fight. It's a 1-score game going into halftime there after we stole the field goal. So, Kenny he performed in the clutch today. Got to do the simple things well. Certainly, probably a little bit of a low kick on the PAT.
Coach, the running back, Montreal didn't run a lot, but you can see the potential there. I thought if y'all wouldn't have fallen behind, y'all were getting a pretty good push. I know the numbers probably didn't look good, but what did you think of the running game?
I think kind of like I've mentioned to you guys in the past, I think we're going to be really pleased with that group. Once we look at the body of work, I think young players sometimes, when they get that first opportunity, they maybe don't quite understand what it takes to prepare or what the game's going to be like. And then once they, get out there and get some experience and develop some confidence, I think you'll see that ability really come to the forefront. But, both Amani and Montreal, Chris, those guys were competitive today. I think we had 29 rushes for 76 yards. I think obviously the sacks probably had something to do with that. But, overall, we were getting some push. I think we had our chances, right? We were in the middle of this thing, kind of splintered a little bit there in the third quarter. And then once it became kind of a 2-score, 3-score game, we had to kind of change gears. But, no fight in that, no quit in that group, a lot of fight. We kept playing. There's a lot of players that played and contributed today. We'll get better as a result of this experience.
large elusiveness in the backfield. I thought it really changed the momentum of the game early because y'all were really getting good pressure.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, man. I think we're right there so many times, right? Where we're right on the back, or we're right on the receiver, or right on the quarterback. You know, I mean, I think this rush lane integrity kind of lost our spokes a couple of times early, where he extended the play in some third and longs, and then you know they had time, and he would extend the play and make a great throw. So I think you're spot on. I think his ability to move around a little bit affected the game. They did a good job protecting him, right? But you know, we had our plays too. Now we got after them. We created some negative plays. You know, I think when we look back at it, there's going to be things that we can do better. Every part of our organization, you know, will learn from this experience. You know, I think and it's critical that we have integrity, look in the mirror, think about our role, what we do to contribute to the team, and then, you know, go back to the drawing board and try to do it better than we've ever done it before next week. So, you know, you got to take these things and you got to use them, right? I think there'll be a lot that comes with this, but we never can waste a failure. And certainly today we got beat. We need to live and learn.
Got time for one or two more, guys. One or two more.
Coach, how did you feel the offensive line played against Texas's defense, especially with some of the blitzes that they were coming with early on?
You know, I thought for the most part, we handled the things. You know, they ran a cross dog, you know, in the field goal possession early there. That was a little new, that we didn't anticipate. Did a really good concept. You know, cross dog against empty, but drop both ends out. I know that's real technical, but you know, outside of that, early, I felt like we were a hat for a hat. You know, we ran it. You know, we had some push. I think we're going to see technically where we can get better. You know, on offense. You know, coach better, individual players playing better. But in general, you know, the ball control offense of Texas. In the first half in particular, in my opinion, really, you know, kind of the cumulative effect of that, I think, showed up in that regard. So we can help on offense by, you know, not going 3 and out, you know, keeping the ball, staying on the field. You know, it was really a turnover-free football game, no significant special teams plays in the game. You know, we turned it over late there with the fumble down there in the red zone. But outside of that, it was just kind of back and forth. And I think we're going to point to the third downs, you know, is where, you know, that was the difference in the game and where they kind of, you know, made their move into a 2 and 3 score game.
We can do one more if anybody needs it.
Too good.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Thank you all.
All right. Up next, we have wide receiver Jalen Williams. All right, everybody, questions for Jalen?
All right, Jalen, well, tell us about what gave y'all difficulty, especially in the first half of the passing game. Didn't seem a lot of opening, there were a lot of openings.
In my opinion, just executing on the receiver's part. We got to get up in there and try and help Levi out, help the line out so they don't have to hold blocks as long as getting open so we can get our offense rolling.
Were they mixing things up to confuse y'all at all?
No, sir. It's like I said, it's just execution on our part. That's really it. We'll get back in practice and go work on that, make sure it doesn't happen again.
Jalen, how important do you think it's going to be for you guys to emphasize sustaining drives, especially when you get to third downs, to keep the ball on the field and to keep the defense off the field?
Real important, just so our defense doesn't get gassed and their offense doesn't come out and just hitting on our defense constantly. So we got to convert on third downs and just extend our drives so we can help the whole team out.
As one of the leaders, Jalen, what do you tell everybody else to turn the page on this one?
It's over now. There's nothing you can do about it. So learn from it. There's no need to dwell on it beyond now. Well, beyond tomorrow, I say. we go and watch film, and then after that film session's over, the game's over, turning the face to the next week.
What was it like playing? And was it hot, or was the heat an issue at all in this game on either side of the ball?
I honestly think that we've practiced and scrimmaged in worse conditions, so that wasn't really a factor for us.
Did you feel like as an offense that y'all had left the defense on the field too long? And was that kind of the thought process at halftime?
Yeah, I mean, we had too many 3-and-outs, too many quick drives. We didn't execute as well as we should have, but if we would have, that would have been a big help for our defense, so they wouldn't be out there as much as they were.
Thanks, Jalen.
Thank y'all.
We'll have one more player coming up shortly.
We got it. It's
All right, we got kicker Kenneth Almendares here. Go ahead whenever you guys are ready.
Well, Kenny, I know y'all lost the game, but how important is this for you moving forward to have nailed 2 field goals at Texas?
Well, saying that it's at Texas is cool and all, but we need to keep doing it in every game.
So tell us what happened on the extra point.
Well, we'd have to see the film for that. I had good contact on the ball. After that, I don't know what happened. Plays too fast, and it looked like it was going to go in after the hit, but it didn't. We'll have to look at film for that.
How much do you feel the 48-yarder gave you guys some momentum going into halftime, and how much do you think the missed one cost you guys the momentum?
The missed PAT?
Yeah.
Well, every point counts. I don't know if it affected them. It didn't affect me. I just knew next kick, whatever we had was next. Quarterback Levi came to me, told me, hey, just like shake it off, go on to the next one. So I don't know what they thought.
But you made all your kicks last year down the stretch, and now you've made your first 2 field goals. So is the rhythm, everything the same? It seems like you're really in a good place right now.
Yeah, with the entrance of Coach Couch, he always worked with us individually with each of the kickers to, improve our form, be more consistent. I think his addition to the team was really good, and it helps me learn more from another person's view. It's always good to know everybody else's view.
What was the morale like in the locker room afterward, Kenny?
After the game or after halftime?
Afterward. After the game.
You could see everybody was upset about how the game ended, but what everybody kept saying in the locker room was next game, next game, home opener, next game.
All right. Thanks, Kenny.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for tonight, guys. Thank you.